Hello, welcome to this week's Not Another Leeds House, the Sunday Club, where we talk about Friday's amazing win over Leicester. Today we've got Danny. Say hello, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
And we should have James. He's running a little bit late. Could be possibly on soon, probably not. We don't know. We'll just, if he comes on, it's a bonus for us. So yeah, Danny, we have beaten Leicester, top of the league. How does that make you feel today, mate?
Warm and fuzzy. Makes me warm and fuzzy. And I'm laughing at Gary Lineker and his bag of crisps.
The crisps that he shags, you mean?
Yeah. I think vinegar's his favourite.
Oh, imagine that, dipping your wick in some salt and vinegar crisps. Oh, this is unsubstantiated rumours, by the way. We do not know if Gary Lineker does or doesn't shag crisps.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Been a good weekend, hasn't it, Dan? Been great, actually.
It's been great, mate. Been very good, especially Friday night. Ipswich dropped points, which is good for us. But Birmingham are crap and can't hold on to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, that was stressful as well yesterday. That was probably the most stressful thing about the Saturday football for me. I was thinking, knowing that Rooney was going to fuck it up. It always happens with him, innit?
Yeah, especially when I showed you that video. I sent you that video. I was going to post it if they'd won.
Yeah.
So I jinxed it, so that's on me. So I apologise for that.
That's really bad, mate. Really bad. You're a jinx. Hate it.
Yeah.
Right. So
I'll be doing that again.
All Leeds fans have been great all weekend, haven't they? Socials have been great. Leicester fans have been chomping at the bit to get back at us, telling them that mind the gap. But I guess what we're really going to do today is we're going to talk about the game and what it was like before the game, and then just like some of the performances in and out of the pitch, if that's all right with you, mate.
Yeah, sure, man.
Cool. Right. So it's Friday. We've just finished Not Another Leeds podcast. It's 7:45. How's your belly at this time, bud?
Nearly dropping out my bum. It's just one of them games where we came off the pod like relatively calm for about 10 seconds, and then we realised the game we're on.
Yeah.
It's one of them where you think, oh, we're in for a pasting because we assumed that they'd go. Well, everyone else assumed that they're about to win the 10th game in a row, and it's one of them games where, as a Leeds fan, you think, right, we're going to get absolutely smashed here, or we're gonna nick it. There's no in between. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. I was a bit nervy myself, like you say. My belly, I was cacking my pants, for being honest, because the fact that the win in the grand scheme of things doesn't mean that much considering their lead, right? Okay, but I was cacking the pants is the fact that they were going to run away with it and we weren't going to show any fight in this race. And obviously, here we are today, and everything's changed. Ipswich have drawn yesterday, and things were all looking honky-dory. So we were both expecting a high-scoring match as well. Were you expecting it to be what it was?
No. I think all of us expected +3 goals in this game. We all predicted that on the Number Leeds podcast. I tweeted after the game, just both set of defences. It was like Spartan versus Spartan, shield wall versus shield wall. And it's just that one goal that's obviously separated the two teams, and we've come away with the 3 points. But what a game it was, mate. I mean, for a neutral, that must have been amazing to watch. For Leeds,
amazing advert for the Championship. Really like hardcore game. It's just it had a lot of like quality in it, especially on defensively. If you look back at the game, both defenses were really, really good, and
very good.
We'll obviously we'll talk about this in a bit more detail soon, but it was just like two amazing teams in that league. And I'll be honest with you as well, both those teams would survive in the Premiership this year as well, I think.
Oh yeah, would batter the. I mean, Luton have just drawn tonight with Liverpool, but Liverpool way off the mark.
Yeah,
for me,
I watched that game.
Yeah, it's barfest, but they were way off the mark. But I'm just, my Leeds bias coming through there. yeah, sorry. Us and Leicester would definitely survive. I mean, I do. I don't think Ipswich will carry on as they are. I just can't see it.
Yeah.
It's just not sustainable. They're leaking goals all the time. They're having to win like 3-2s, 4-3s, and they've got the odd 1 or 2-0. But if we beat them 4-3, that's the only team they've lost to is us. L stands for Leeds, doesn't it?
It does. It always stands for Leeds, mate. Same for Leicester as well. Thanks very much. We mentioned something off air as well, and like for the 4 teams that look like they've got something this year are Leicester, Leeds, Southampton now, and Ipswich, and all 3 of them have got to come to Ellen Road. All 3 of them, and Southampton home last game of the season as well could be a very big fixture.
Yeah, they're all massive fixtures. I just need to tell you, I'm sorry if you're snoring. It's my dog. It's not me farting. It's because the fireworks tonight. It's bonfire night as we're recording this. So I brought him in with me. So he's a pug, and he snores massively like a pig. So I apologise for that. I just have to get that out of there because I don't want people thinking Danny's trumping like Brenda here, like constantly. But yeah, sorry. They're all massive fixtures. To say that we've gone away to the top 2 and beat them on their home turf, those 3 points will come out in handy. I hope the Stoke game doesn't affect us that much because they've Ipswich have got Rotherham on Tuesday, which are down at the bottom, and then I can't remember who they're playing next weekend. But
I was watching Joe and Benjamin Bloomer, and he seems to think that Leicester might fall off in December because their December run is quite hard. I can't tell you the fixtures off the top of my head because I haven't had a look. I'm just going first hand from what they said. But, I mean, there is going to be a point in time where both of those teams are going to have a bit of a hard run. And we could just go on a big run. So it's still all to play for. Still, how many matches left? 31?
We've played 15, I think, haven't we?
Yeah. So 31 matches, 93 points left to play for.
It's still loads. Yeah, there's still loads of points to play for. I said ages ago, didn't I, that I think the top 4 will change dramatically. I just think I can't see Ipswich because they've got good synergy and they've got good team, this kind of stuff, but it's not sustainable. I think a lot of Leicester fans are pretending that they don't have a really good team. They're acting like it's just been put together. But Ndidi, Vardy, these are players that have got Premier League experience and have been above this level, in my opinion. Not to say that they've not brought players in, but they've brought really good players as well. Do you know what I mean? And they sold Maddison for what it's 60 million or something, 80 million.
I don't know the exact thing, but I believe it's like between 40 to 50, something like that, which is crazy money. But he's a great player. They've lost some good players. They've lost Barnes, Tielemans, and Maddison. They're 3 big players. If they would have stayed, you imagine where they'd be now. But it looks like they have got a good manager, apart from him being bold, and he's got nits. And he's yeah. Sorry, I'm going to digress here a little bit, but he did say after the game that he thought we didn't deserve to win, which was just a bit weird.
Teddy's out of the problem, mate.
Yeah.
He also said that Sunderland are better.
Yeah.
As well, obviously not, because Sunderland didn't beat you. Leeds did 1-0.
Yes. Yeah. I think they were basically at full strength as well, apart from Ndidi, who missing was. I mean, he could be quite important.
Well, that though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah, massively. Because he would have sat on Rutter for the entire game. And that's what I thought.
Yeah. I agree, mate, yeah.
Should we talk about the game?
Nah.
Let's just leave it. All right, Leicester. See you.
Yeah.
For those on the visual radio, I was just sticking me to at the camera. So we started the game quite well, didn't we? We had some big chances. I think it was Piroe, weren't it? Had a really, really big chance, like quite early on. What were your thoughts on that? Do you think he should have scored that?
I think he hesitated a fraction of a second too long. He should have
come too early
with his right. I think he should have. I think he took it on his. He wanted it on his left instead of his right. I think he should have took it on his right. I think he'd have a better percentage. But this is just me thinking as a striker. I'm not a professional at all, but I'm right-footed, but if I'm left-footed and a professional, because he's ambidextrous, he's scored some worldies with his right foot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it goes with the momentum of his body, and he just hits it with his right, and then at least get it on target. But he's took it on his left, so he's adjusted his body, and then his body's out of sync in regards to the net. That's why it goes high and wide. But he should be finishing them. You know, Piroe, he knew it himself. So I'm not having a go at Piroe. He knew how precious that early chance was.
Yeah.
So he should. I don't know why I've got my arm up over there. He should have been bagging that, mate. He should have been wheeling away, and then straight away they're under pressure. Their game plan changes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a whole different game.
Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, it didn't really mean as much, but I support he should have at least hit the target from there. I think it might come to a little bit too early in the game because obviously he's missed it, so it has. But I think he should have at least hit the target on there. And at that time, we were like rampant as well. We were in that first 10 minutes, we were really good, and they've come back into it after that. I thought they were trying to like size us up, see what we were doing, because they thought we were going to play counter-attacking football, but no, we don't play counter-attacking football. We play possession-based football, but we're just really good at counter-attacking. And that's when we seem to score a lot of goals as well, because of the pace and the trickery and the speed and the position of our strikers when we get into those positions. It just makes us really, really good at counter-attack. You may hear that I always use really, really good. It's my favourite saying a lot.
The little dialect, definitely.
Yeah. So it was a bit frantic, but then it started turning into a good game. Leicester started coming into it. And then I've got to give props to one of their players, Ricardo Pereira. He was really good in that first half against us, wasn't he? Like, he was getting up and down the pitch, putting in some really good last minute tackles, and like quite marshalling Summerville quite well, I thought. What did you think of Ricardo Pereira?
I just at one point, I think even the commentator said it. Are the two Pereiras on the pitch?
Yeah.
He was just everywhere. He were close to. It were a three-way tie between the man of the match for me, because we'll talk about the other two wingers. You know, their wingers in a bit, I suppose. But it's just absolutely. You'd love a defender like that in your team, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got massive. He played well in the Premier League.
Well, it's a Portuguese international, isn't it? He's got loads of caps for Portugal. Played for them for years at right back. I just know he had a bad time at Leicester with injuries, and he's come back now. They're in the Championship. I don't think anyone's took a punt on him, and he looks like one of the best right backs in the league. And I think in that position with him and Spence, I think we probably both got the best right backs in the league, and going in for the rest of the season. Got to have now, because he was good against us, and I've got to give him praise there. They, like I said, both teams defensively were good. So that's going to be a position that we're going to have to, because when Spence goes back, he's going to hammer it.
I agree. We seem to be saying it every week now when Spence comes in. Comes in, but he needs to. I think he's due back from injury after the next international. Well, they said 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, didn't they? So
when's our next game
this week?
When's our next game after Plymouth? 24th, 23rd,
Friday.
Yeah, it's on Friday night.
Is it another star?
Yeah, Sky Sports Leeds.
Sky Sports Leeds, man.
I think it's Rotherham away. Rotherham away.
I hope it is. Hold on, I'm just using Google. So our next, hold on. So we've got Plymouth on the 11th. Yep. Rotherham on the 24th. Yeah, you're right. So it's and then
so 6 points then. 6 points then are the next two.
Well, I think we're gonna get the next 100 points.
Good. I'm happy with that. Right. So Piroe's hit the bar. Okay, and then we've gone down the other end, and we had 2 penalty shouts in that first half. What are your thoughts on them, mate?
I'm trying to remember. I think you've seen them given, but the Summerville one, I don't think were a penalty, personally. The Rutter one is close, it's very close. I think that'd give something VAR to talk about.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, mate, I don't think the penalties. I just think
You'd be wounded if they've given against Leeds.
Yeah.
You'd be really wounded.
Yeah, but we've seen them given against Leeds, haven't we?
Yeah.
But I just don't. Personally, I think it'd be really harsh to get them penalties. I think what really does my head in is that going for a penalty is part of the game now, or diving is part of the game now, and I hate it. That's one of my pet peeves. For instance, like if he could have, he might have been able to get a shot off if he'd have just kept his feet, and instead of going to. That's just my personal opinion. As I've played football all my life, and I know body language and stuff like that, and I just think he should have just played rather than, because he did it in the Premier League last season, didn't he? Rutter, where he did this dive and he just went for the, you know what I mean? I just don't like it, but
he has got he has got a bit of dark arts in him, Rutter, hasn't he? You can see he's got a little bit.
Yeah.
Just enough not to dislike him, though. Not just enough not to dislike him for it.
Yeah.
Like, he's got something in him. I mean, I was screaming for a penalty anyway, but I'm sure you was too.
But as a Leeds fan, you're always, until you see the replay close up, you know what I mean? You're always calling for a penalty.
Yeah.
But I think Summerville should have done better. I think he should have. But Summerville looked off for me last night. I just think that they marked him out of the game, and I just think that this is what happens when Summerville is up against good defenders.
I think what that did for us was because they put a lot of focus onto Summerville, and I guess we'll come on to Dan James a little bit later, but they left him to have a bit more space to run into a lot because they were concentrating on Summerville, thinking Dan James wasn't going to be as much, and then he got. We'll come into Dan James soon anyway, right? So obviously I've just mentioned then about obviously where the penalties and that Fatawu bit in the bar. They're wingers, Dan. Fatawu, Mavididi, right? What do you think of them two? Because I thought they're really, really good players, actually. Thought they absolutely tested our fullbacks yesterday, Friday.
That's easy for you to say, those names.
Yeah. Mavididi, yeah.
When the dust settled after the first 15 minutes or so, that's when it started really coming at us. They noticed because all their attacks just came down the wings. And Sam Byram, I thought, were getting cooked. And Archie Gray, bless him, he's only 17. We have to remember he were getting done by Mavididi and what's it, Fatawu or something? Fatawu, sorry. If you're watching this, Fatawu, I do apologise. I just think that they're both like clones of each other. They've got the same sort of style, but
they're like inside forwards, aren't they? They're cutting in on their predominant foot. When this year we've mainly been facing like out and out wingers, and you can see that obviously he wants a lefty on the right and a righty on the left. I thought them two were good against us. Obviously, they didn't do nothing. Nothing that they did came to a goal for them, and I thought our two, Byram and Gray, handled them well. I think sometimes they did struggle though, and they were tested, and they were tested a lot, and that just shows. I mean, we don't never ever say how much we rate opposition players on this podcast at all, really. But I thought them two gave us some absolute problems. I thought they were good, and we did struggle at times, but luckily enough, Summerville and Dan James were getting backed out all the time, and we don't see that all the time, which was good to see.
Yeah, I remember seeing them just attack after attack. It was just at one point it was just coming out and going back to them and getting recycled, and then coming out to the wings. You've touched on it there where he hits the bar, that flick over Byram. I can't remember. Did Byram have a yellow card at that point? I can't remember. Probably didn't. But
no, I don't think
he gets done by the flick. He gets done by the flick and he cuts inside, and he's hit it too perfect.
Yeah,
he's hit it with too much swaz, and you could see it from the camera angle. Meslier couldn't do anything about it. Even if it were lower, that were destined for the back of the net. But it hits the bar, and then we counter. But that's how we got them on the counter. But I remember watching them two, and I was just like, wow, these are good. And he just couldn't keep up. Archie Gray, bless him, I thought he did what he had to. I mean, a lot of Leicester fans are like, he's rubbish. He's rubbish. Yeah. The lad's 17. He's our Pedro. He's absolutely knackered. He's played like 1 million minutes of football this season already. And
well, he did what he needed to, didn't he, Archie Gray? He didn't put a foot wrong. He didn't get cooked. He didn't get embarrassed. He did everything that he could. And to be honest, he did not. I mean, he might have got obviously skinned a couple of times, right? but he weren't embarrassed. He kept chasing him back, putting him into them corners. I think he only went past him a couple of times. And at the end of the day, whatever's on the scoreboard, they didn't score. So he's done a good job in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tell Leicester fans that.
Yeah. Same with Piroe, especially after getting a yellow card so early into that game. And he carried on playing the way he was. He was going into the tackles, great in the air. I mean, look at the goal. He's the one. That was a great header from Summerville. That was amazing. But I mean, it's just unlucky that they keep saved it and then Rutter's put it in. But yeah, I thought both of them had a good game, mate. And they were the two that everyone was worried about before the game, and then they were good, but they weren't that good. They weren't. Any other day they might have had against another team they'd probably hammered them, but not Leeds United.
I think the win in itself is a statement to the rest of the league.
Yeah.
In two forms. One, we're not to be messed with. Stoke were lucky, in my opinion. It was an own goal.
Yeah.
Fair play to them. You know, they did play well. Birmingham, we lost because of a stupid penalty in the 90th minute. Do you know what I mean? And Southampton just
didn't turn up. Yeah, just didn't turn up.
Just didn't get off the bus. They must have got hammered the night before. But, you know, fair play for all of them for getting the points against us. But what I'm trying to say is, we're now in a stride. We said on Not Another Leeds podcast, that I said it, the game 15 is a good barometer to see where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it weren't for Ipswich and Leicester having record-breaking starts to the season, we'd be at top of the league on our point last season. Mm-hmm. So I'm not agreeing with all the doom and gloom saying, oh, we're not going back up, this, that, and the other. And it's like you say, there's still 30 odd games to play, and second, Leicester can be beat.
Mm-hmm.
Leicester can be beat on the counter. Ipswich can be beat.
And I think going back to what you just said there, Dan, I think a lot of teams are going to be looking at how we beat Leicester as well. That's not, and they're going to start setting up like that against them as well. What were you about to say? Sorry, mate. Yeah,
I was just about to say. I was like, we can be the blueprint now on how to beat them.
What? Just be really good.
Just be really good. Get relegated from the Premier League.
Yeah, just have Rutter in your team, and
that's what all you have to do is have Rutter, Summerville, Piroe, Meslier, Byram. Just get them, and you should be all right.
And the next man that we're going to come on to now, Dan, Glenn Polaroid Kamara.
Yeah, he needs to give up the I'm Finnish kind of thing.
Because he isn't Finnish, is he? Yeah.
He's only 28.
Yeah, he's only 28. Shit. Do you know what, mate? Oh, he was amazing, wasn't he?
Mate, he was unbelievable. And this is what I was saying on Not Another Leaders on Friday. That he breaks the passages in between. Sorry, my dishwasher just seemed to be kicking off for some reason.
It's all right, it's all right.
I do apologise.
I can't hear it, mate.
Oh, good. I can. It's crazy. Sorry, everyone. Anyway, back onto the So if you look at the trigger, the press, so he comes in from Meslier. He turns straight away, and we've talked about Kamara, how we can just drop the shoulder. Yeah, he can drop the shoulder, turn the player, and pass it out, and that's where Byron was running on, or Archie Gray's running on, and this is where Kamara and Ampadu complement each other so well. And we saw that pass from Ampadu to Summerville, and he can just and he went on, and we got a chance out of it. But Glenn Kamara, mate, how many times have I said it? He's fast becoming my favourite player. I just love how he just controls the ball, how calm he is, and now we can just turn on a 50 pence piece. And
I think we saw something else to his game as well, didn't we? Against Leicester, is that he can actually tackle and he can get stuck in. He's quite strong. It's hard to get off the ball. I didn't realise. I guess he's got that wiry strength because he doesn't look it, but he's hard to get off the ball. He was winning all the shoulder margin tackles.
Yeah, man.
The Leicester and Leeds fans were going at each other all week about who's the best centre midfielder, aren't they? Who's going to be like Winks, Keenan, Dewsbury Hall, and Ampadu, and they weren't really bigging up Glenn Kamara that much. And he's gone into that game and basically ran the show, really. Him and Ampadu were absolutely solid, but Glenn Kamara is the best game he's played for us, and I think he was the man of the match in my eyes. And obviously, he didn't know one about it. He got man of the match, He's insane.
He's on a. Sorry to cut you off. he's on an upward trajectory for me.
Yes.
He's gone from Rangers, which no disrespect to Rangers at all. I like them.
Mhm.
But he's come to Farke, and I think Farke's like improving his game. He could shake off death. All he has to do is just drop his shoulder. Do you know what I mean? And he can just. I put a tweet out saying billions of years ago, Glenn Kamara dropped his shoulder and the earth started spinning. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I love him, mate. He's fast becoming one of my regulars because we've tried Gruev in there and Ampadu, and that for me that doesn't work. They're both 2 6s. Glenn Kamara's an 8 for me. He's not the guy that can pick a pass out, but he's honestly, I'll never not be waxing lyrical about him.
No, he's really, really good. Okay, so I think now we're probably going to one little bit of a negative that everybody seems to have right at the minute. Okay, and he's our top goal scorer, one of the top goal scorers, Joel Piroe. Okay, we spoke about him having that chance in the first half, but he seems to just like not be there, and then if he's scoring in games. So I don't want to go back to this debate about Piroe playing in the 9 and Rutter in the 10, but how do you think we can get around him getting involved more in these games? What do you think about his performance? Because I mean, I just thought he's kind of like a passenger at times, and I guess the way the season carries on like that, we need him to be more involved. What do you think?
I do think I understand what people say, whether on about Piroe goes missing. I understand that, because that comes down to the number 10 and number 9 role, because he's a number 9 essentially, isn't he? And Rutter's a 10. But I think he does play a role. I mean, he does. If you just ball watch, you won't see Piroe a lot. But if you sort of watch it outside of the screen as well, you'll see his movements. And sometimes if he's playing in the 10 role, he won't be up there. He'll have to hang back. So it's hard to say Piroe's rubbish. He is a passenger. Yeah, I know you're not saying that, but I'm just saying, like I've said, he was a passenger in some games, but I do think he's effective. He hasn't scored in 2-3 games now.
Yeah,
but I like Piroe, and I think he will come good. It's just he's a part of the team. It's not Joel Piroe FC, if you know what I mean.
Do you think he's still bedding in? And the chances that I've had are just like normal minor chances.
Don't forget, I know I don't want to jinx it, touch wood, the first season Farke in the Championship, he didn't go up, but he went up the second time. He came back down and he went back up. Do you know what I mean? He's still embedding players, is what I'm trying to say. And you've got Piroe. Rutter is on a surge of confidence now. Summerville's on fire. You've got Joe Rodon, who's at the back, who were phenomenal Friday night, by the way. You got Strike, who's the next. I
guess we'll come to them anyway. We'll come to them too, mate. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, we're still only 15 games in. Now is where we start to consolidate and gel more.
Yeah. Cool. I agree. I think he's going to take a bit of time from. Because I think Farke said it, from being the main man to being a man in a team. If you understand what I mean. It's going to take time for him to do that, but he doesn't moan when he gets taken off. He's not moaning, he's not stropping or anything like that. He's with the team afterwards when you see like the media team doing their things. He's around, he's getting involved. So I just have to wait this one out and see what happens, because I could see Farke being a bit stubborn though as well. If you agree with me, Dan, they won't change them two around. What do you think on that?
No, I think he's stuck in his ways.
Yeah.
The big lovely German man, but who am I to disagree with someone that knows what he's doing? You know what I mean? He's got us in 3rd position, the best after August. What more could you ask for, really?
Yeah.
But,
especially after August. Look where we are. None of us thought this was going to be happening. We all thought we were just going to go for a mid-table season after the start, because we're all pessimistic, even though we probably should be where we are now anyway. But yeah, a pessimistic start. Okay, so we'll finish on Joel Piroe. Let's not give him any more because it ain't his fault. It's just like stuff like that. Yeah,
I won't even say it's a negative. I just say it's an observation.
Yeah, but we're still winning matches.
He does play well.
Yeah, still winning football matches. That's the issue here. If we were getting battered every week, then they'll be in the spotlight a lot more. But we are winning matches, and the person that he's playing up front scored the winner last night. So let's get on to our star boy, our main man, Jorginho Rutter. Okay, so it wasn't his best game last night. He keeps saying last night, it was Friday. It weren't his best game against Leicester, but he was involved, and he ran his fucking box off, didn't he? He was literally knackered when he got took off. He did so much running. If you look at his running stats for that game, they were crazy. He was just really, really, really good on that sort of side. But he did have a couple of things where in the game where his shooting was a bit like aim. Did you think? It was just like hitting at the goalkeeper really slow.
I think it's just composure again. It is a rough league, the Championship. He's not used to all it, because if you touch a player in the box in the Premier League, player goes down. I mean, we've all seen the farcical penalties. Look at the Wolves penalty at the weekend. That was terrible. Whether it's by letter of the law or not, it's just not a penalty. Like I say, like diving's part of the game now, and it's just infuriating. But I just think it's lack of composure, and it's yes. I mean, when he got subbed off later on, he was knackered. He was absolutely knackered. You see him walking around the pitch past the fans at the end, and then it was just absolutely. I remember, I think someone told him to press, but he had to jog because he couldn't sprint anymore because he was absolutely done in, and that's what we want from Leeds players. And I think Rutter, if he continues down this path, mate, not only will he be superstar, he could be one of the Leeds great. It's like Click for me. If he keeps going this way, he gets the club, and he'll still be a part of the club in years' time. But Rutter, I know it's early to go off like this, but Rutter's got all the hallmarks to be a club great, in my opinion. He keeps on this track.
And he's obviously he scored the winning goal. He's all happy, all on the social media after. He's always laughing. He's doing his Halloween stuff all week, and now he just seems really happy. And he didn't seem happy when he first come last year. And you can see when a player's happy, then that's when they start expressing themselves more. And he was just amazing. But I'll tell you what we'll do now. Obviously, because it's only me and you on it, I'll try and not to keep everybody as long as we normally would, because James would have had his wisdom. But let's talk about Struijk and Rodon, mate. The brick wall, the iron curtain. What, them two are class, aren't they?
Yes, mate, they were. For not Rodon especially. No, I'm not taking any disrespect to Struijk and Rodon anymore. Them two were just like the Spartan wall. Rodon, he's so much better than. See, it comes down to, we've all had this conversation about the old guard, Cooper and Ayling and stuff, which we'll probably come on to the save later on, won't we? Yeah. So if Cooper's starting there tonight, I think we concede maybe 2, right? But I'm just being honest. I'm not digging Cooper out. I'm just trying to be honest there. I think Rodon, he's got the pay. It's to get in between strikers, not in between strikers, sorry, in front of strikers to recover the ball. The rumours are that we're going to be snipping out for 15 million in January. I hope so.
I'd pay that. I think he's definitely worth it. From
what I'm seeing, Welsh international, great, and he's got obviously tons of experience with Swansea. There's a reason why Spurs bought him from Swansea. Yeah. Like I say, he's got tons of experience in.
When did Mourinho that bought him?
Yeah.
And he's a Mourinho style defender, isn't he? He's no nonsense, but can actually pass around as well. Honestly, he's growing into this team a lot more every single game. You can see the difference when he isn't playing, and obviously that's when we've had some issues, haven't we? But he's an absolute monster. I can't get how good he is in the air as well. He's just
another thing. Since him and Pascal have been starting, mate, I think when it goes to the back, and I'm not like,
oh no, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you remember when it was Llorente and Cooper? When it was Llorente and Cooper that were doing that right at the back.
Do you know? Remember that purple patch they had when people were going, "Oh, Cooper and Llorente, get in."
Yeah.
Well, Llorente, just biscuit knees, and he super knees.
I just remember Brentford or Llorente, and it just sticks in my mind as this. Just send shivers down my spine, but he's terrible. But yeah, I think we have to buy Joe Rodon. We have to.
15 million is.
I'll be surprised if we don't make it. Yeah, we don't make it permanent in January, and possibly look at getting another loan player in again, so we can make up to 3 loans. Oh, because
Do you know what?
I think they might go for it. I think 49ers might go for it.
I've got a theory.
Okay, go.
Just a hunch and a theory. I think we sign Rodon permanently for around about 15 million.
Yeah.
We sell Nonto.
Yeah.
We give him his move. I think that'll happen. So I don't think it'll be Everton. I think it'll be another club abroad, maybe Inter, something.
Are they going to pay 30 million?
15 million, probably. I think we'll drop the price in order to get Rodon in. I think we'll subsidise the price, maybe 20, right? Because they're paying for potential, basically. Yeah. He's still really young, and I think we get a loan winger to replace Nonto. Maybe they get another loan in for left back wise. Who knows? We don't know the full extent, but that's my theory. They'll definitely go for a 10.
I think they'll go for another centre back myself. I think they'll go for another centre back. I really do. A right-footed centre back. I really do. I don't think he trusts Cresswell at all, and which is a shame because he's a homegrown kid. Yeah, I just don't think he's gonna.
Here's a question for you though, Kev.
Okay.
You're Cresswell now. Mm-hmm. You've just signed another 5-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking sat on that bench? Well, you weren't even on the bench.
No, not even on the bench. I'd be looking. I mean, if it was me personally, and I love the club, I'd be looking for a loan move out in January. Just a loan move. That works out. He goes away, plays well again. I just don't think he can. His ball carrying ability and his passing ability are something that I can trust in right now.
I agree. I think Cresswell goes out in January, and I think he goes to a maybe lower end championship team, maybe even League One, to get that experience. Because if you go to,
I think he'd get a championship move easily. Yeah, maybe even a Mill one again.
Yeah,
someone like that suits their style of play, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, let's get back to them two anyway. Let's get back to striking mode. And it's just the way them two soaked up the pressure in that last 20 minutes and the composure that they were showing, the way they were talking to everybody around them. I mean, again, they didn't even have a shot on target until the 95th minute.
Yeah, absolutely nullified them, didn't they? I mean, you've seen Dewsbury Halls, 0 chances created, 0 shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just absolutely
best midfielder in the league. Yeah.
Please, more like Dewsbury Hall from Dewsbury, the actual hall itself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that, but there's a town called Dewsbury near where I live.
No, I didn't know, but now I do. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Right, should we give somebody a little bit of a shout out, Dan?
Go on then.
Ilya Gruev.
Yeah.
Come on, didn't he? Come on, like in playing behind Patrick Bamford, like in this weird pressing monster role. And do you know what? He did all right, didn't he? He broke. Yeah, he put in some good tackles, and he did what he needed to do to get us over that line in that win. I know it was only a few minutes, but he was like, he only had a few minutes to play, and he put in a shift when he got out there. He was getting himself, gave away a couple of fouls, putting some big tackles in that. I thought he was all right. What do you think?
I'm starting to like him because I don't think there's any complaints in the Leeds camp from him. I think he knows what's going on. He needs to earn that spot, and I don't think he did that at Stoke. But this is the few time, third, fourth, maybe second time I've seen him come on, and he's made a brilliant tackle. Yeah. That's what he's known for. That's what he was known for at Wolfsburg. Well, Wolfsburg, wasn't it? No, Wolfsburg.
Werder Bremen, sorry, yeah.
I just saw the double. I saw the W in my head. I just think that his time will come. It is a long season.
We've got how many games we've got in December and January, mate. He's going to get some game time coming up.
Yeah, I mean, especially if there's an injury there as well. Mm-hmm. I just think that obviously he's Bulgarian and he needs to embed into the team, but sounds really weird, the culture as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like getting his English better and stuff like that. And that's what Farke was saying anyway when he came in. And I think there is potential.
Was he our only foreign signing? Was he our only signing that came from abroad that hasn't played in English football before? I'm just looking at the signings now, and I think that might be. So Abdu,
I think he.
Yep. Darlow, Jaden Anthony, Glenn Kamara's.
I've gone blank
in English, yeah. So yeah, I guess like Piroe will played in an English game before. He's the only one that hasn't. Maybe that's another reason why he's not putting him into yet, because the Championship's crazy league, isn't it? You know,
it's definitely the hardest. It's not the best, but it's the hardest to get out of.
Yeah,
we all know that as Leeds fans.
Mm-hmm. Should we get on to Big Mez?
Let's do it.
I'm going to let you talk about Big Mez, mate, because I know you love this. Iceman cometh. The day man. It's coming, and go on, Danny. I'll let you explain this one, mate. You're allowed to. You can have this one.
Well, the save.
Yes,
mate. For those that follow Not Another Leeds on the socials, you'll see the greatest save you'll ever see this side of the ice wall.
Yes,
the Great Wall. Honestly, right. I was just gonna say, you know what? Earlier I was talking about the old guard. Luke Ayling came on, right? The cross comes in, it's floating. Who was underneath it? Luke Ayling.
Yeah.
Dewsbury Hall. Was it Dewsbury Hall?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Hall. Beat him to it. He shouldn't have beat him to it. So Meslier, with the hand of God himself, the entire Leeds personification was in his hand, and he just grabbed it from the corner and then knocked it away, right? And we all thought it were in. Everyone thought it were in, and then we realised it wasn't, and then going from absolute devastation to elation. That save saved us 3 points.
Well, it did.
Without doubt.
Yeah, it definitely did. But it also gives him a bit of confidence. But the best thing about that, it weren't just the save, is the fact it went out for a corner and everyone's just standing around and he's got up, hasn't he? It's like pushing everybody around because they're going to take a quick corner. Smart man. You know what? And then Farkas come out and bigged him up after the game as well. He's called him the best keeper in the league. And do you know what? He's had a big turnaround too, hasn't he, Meslier? And
he's putting in go on, sorry, mate.
He's putting in performance that he was before when he wasn't facing 40 shots a match. Like, because when we were in the Premier League, we were at the Bielsa match, Allardyce, he was facing fucking 40 shots a match. And that's no good for a 21-year-old goalkeeper, right? I know he made a couple of cock-ups, like Seamus Coleman was a bad one. And he's made a couple of cock-ups here and there, but he looks a lot more like confident this year, especially working under this new goalkeeper coach as well. Seems to have done a lot with him, especially because I was always a bit nervy, you know, when Meslier was playing the ball around under Bielsa. Okay. And he was kicking it out straight to their team. I can't think of hardly any times under Farker where he's kicked the ball away and give it to their team on a short pass. Can't think of any.
It's amazing, isn't it, when you've got a coach that knows what he's doing and a goalkeeper coach that don't throw tennis balls at him.
Yeah.
We all know why he was rubbish last season. It's because Djokovic wasn't kicking balls at him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And we were terrible. We were terrible.
Awful, mate.
We had the worst defence in the league, right? And I dare to think how many saves he made as well. It's because he did make some good saves last year, really good saves.
He did.
And
he also made some howlers as well. Like just Bournemouth away sticks into my mind. But like you say, like fans coming at me saying, but he's got the highest save percentage in the league. Well, yeah, that's because he's saving about 40 of a million shots on target. Do you know what I mean? But this is the thing with Leeds fans, and it's everyone's reactive. And
he could have got a move, you know. He could have got a move in the summer. You see what Angus Kinnear said that?
Yeah.
He could have got big money for him. And he said no, he wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is what we're seeing now is Meslier of old. You know, when he was coming through under Bielsa, like you said, and maybe that first season, like I bet Caldalo is absolutely fuming.
I know.
I bet he's seething.
But he's gone from facing 40 shots a game to one on Friday, and this is one of the best saves you'll ever see. So obviously he's keeping switched on for the entire match. And he didn't do that.
That's probably one of the saves. Yeah, that's probably one of the saves of his career.
Yeah, and this Ed Wootton has come in. That's worked with Farker before. It seems like he's working wonders with him. And I, for one, I'm really happy with Meslier right now, and I'm glad honestly he could be the best keeper in the division right now. So
do you know what? Yeah. I thought Herman. Just a shout out to Hermanson. I thought he was okay.
Yeah,
I thought he was good.
Decent,
Dan James should have put a few away past him. But anyway, just a segue, mate. Under the 49ers ownership, where they're bringing in actual people who's got experience i.e. Farker and Scott Wootton. And
Scott Wootton doing. Is he on golf?
I've done it again, Anna. I've done it again, Anna.
Yeah.
I said Stephen Warnock over there instead of Neil Warnock. The goalkeeping coach, sorry. And they're on about bringing in extra medical staff in as well. Extra physios and all these.
Do we need that now that Sinisterra and Adams and that are gone? No, do we need all that?
We still have Junior Firpo, don't we?
We do have to. He was on the bench. Do you know what? Before when Sam Byron got yellow carded, I thought they were going to bring him on at some point.
I was just about to say, mate, that when he got yellow carded, I thought, right, yeah, do you hook him at half time or do you risk it? And I think yeah, I think he must have. Yeah, because if Firpo had come on, mate, he'd have been cooked. And I know for a fact, Fatu, I was calling him Fatty. Fatty would have cooked him.
Yeah. So yeah, we've beat them. We've had a great game. Everything's all right. Leeds fans are buzzing. We've got Plymouth next week. Daddy, what else have we got planned this week, mate? So I think this is where we finish up now. It would have been longer if we had James. We miss him. I'm sure he'll be back with us. Obviously, there must be something going on. So, Daddy, what we got planned this week, mate? I know we've got some mystery stuff coming up, haven't we?
Yeah, I think James is on 3 peaks, I think. We'll find out this week too.
Yeah.
We've got a mystery guest this week and a mystery theme. I'm not telling anyone, not even you know, do you, Kev?
No, don't know. No one knows. We'll see how this goes on Friday. Could be a good surprise.
So
could be terrible.
On Friday, we've got this mystery guest and we've got a mystery theme. It could be anything. Could be 3 peaks. Be Teletubbies. But yeah, make sure you tune into us lot on Not Another Leeds podcast. If you can't find us there, you'll find us outside Greg's. Roll.
Okay, so everybody, thanks for watching / listening. We'll have another Leeds out the house, hopefully out this week as well before Not Another Leeds podcast on Friday, and then we'll be back Sunday with a little review of Plymouth, just the Sunday club. And yeah, thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.